Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 6, Atma Samyama Yoga. In English translation, it is Dhyana Yoga. Samyama means control, Dhyana means meditation. The chapter will be described the yogi who follows the path of meditating on Paramatma or ashtanga-yoga. Main topics are description of the yogi who is on the beginning stage, Yoga Ruruksha, and who is professional, Yoga Arudha. Yoga steps, realization of Krishna as a super soul, destiny of the successful and unsuccessful yogi, and description of the topmost yogi. So here we see in the beginning who is a true yogi. True yogi, true sannyasi is that one who fulfills his duties without attachment to result. Karma palam anashrita karyam karma karoti. Yoga steps are given and the proper activities for each yogi. Aruruksha, beginner. For him work is a means. Yoga Arudha, elevated yogi. For him cessation of work is a means. In shloka number 4, three qualifications how to become elevated yogi are given. No material desires, no act for sense gratification, and do not act for results but for God. Also, mind should be controlled, because controlled mind is a friend. Uncontrolled mind is an enemy. Let's see description of Yoga Arudha. As you remember, all over Bhagavad Gita we see here and there the description of Sthita Prajna, Paramahamsa, Karma Yogi. Here Krishna calls him Yoga Arudha. Let's see his qualification. He is Prashantasya, attained peace. He is equally disposed to all dualities of the material world, such as honor, dishonor, happiness and distress, richness or poverty, cold or heat, etc., etc. He is satisfied with the knowledge he attained. He is kutastha, spiritually situated. He is sensually controlled. He is equal toward friends and enemies, sinners and pious, etc., etc. Here we see the yoga steps. From shloka 11 till the 20s, the description of the activities of the yogi is given. How to sit properly, breathe, eat, sleep, etc., etc. Later, in shlokas 20 to 23, the transcendental happiness description is given. And the main quality of transcendental happiness or samadhi, it is a pure vision, ability to see the self by pure mind. Also, qualification of those who may follow this path is given. Faith and determination, abandon material desires and mental speculation, fix mind on the self, and if mind wanders, bring it back. However, this description is short, but you can take a Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 2, Shlokas from 15 to 31. Very elaborately given the description of how yogis should follow the path. In 16 shlokas, it is really full description. You can read there with attention. Here we can see what Krishna speaks about those who is really elevated yogi and who attained the realization of Krishna as a super soul, and it is a goal of yogi. For those who see me everywhere and see all things in me, I am never lost, nor are they ever lost to me. If you remember in chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge, Krishna spoke about that one who knows my nature, attains mine abode, and never comes back to material existence. This is a true yogi. So, Arjuna says that this system of yogi is really impractical to me. He is a kshatriya, he cannot spend that much time, and his mind is restless. Please tell me what to do. And the description of mind is given in the next shloka. I will put a link about this video. I have done it separately, mind formula. Here we will see Balavat, mighty, Pramadhi, intoxicated, Chanchalam, not stable, and Dridham, obstinate, is a description of the mind in Bhagavad Gita. And how one can conquer the mind? Abhyasana Vairagyana. So, by practice, everyday practice, and by detachment of activities for sense gratification and mental speculation, mental activities, by self-realization, one can conquer the mind. Mind should be controlled, otherwise it will ruin whole life. In shloka number 36, mind is stated to be an obstacle for self-realization. So one should control the mind by controlling senses and empower the intelligence. So, Arjuna's question in these shlokas: what is going on to be to successful and unsuccessful yogi? Because it is a logical question. Not everyone will attain the supreme in this life. And Krishna says, don't worry, whatever stage yogi attain in this life, and if he leaves his body, he will start from the same stage from the next life. Because the spiritual realization is never lost. It is not like a karma or which will be decreased on the time when you leave the body, but your spiritual achievements will be there. And from the next life, yogi may take birth in a good family, in a brahmana family, in a rich family, or any situation in his next life will help him to start all over from that stage where he finished in this life. And the last two shlokas is a description of topmost yogi. Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesham mad gaten tara atmana. Shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mataha. Of all yogis, those whose minds are always absorbed in me and who engage in devotion to me with great faith, them I consider to be the highest of all. This is a description of all yogi. So in this chapter we have seen beginners of the yoga, yoga rurukshu, the professionals, yoga rudha. The Srimad Bhagavatam shlokas were given in order to read better about how yogis should meditate. We have seen that realization of the super soul is the goal of yogi, and that mind is very powerful and should be controlled, and that yogi is never lost. So I wish you the best in your yoga path.